As the Class AA American State Legion Baseball Championship game is tonight. We have highlights and analysis coming up from the Flathead Valley.
I'm Annika Cook at Bozeman High School, where the only competitive color guard team in the state is getting ready for a new show, but they also have a new look.
I'm Haley Sutton here at Montana Expo Park for the Big Sky Pro Rodeo. We'll have highlights.
I'm Captain Cross. The Helena Brewers are surprising even themselves with their team chemistry as they look to make a push towards the Pioneer League playoffs.
I'm Chris Byers in Billings. The Battling Bears of Rocky open the college football season in 3 short weeks. We'll check in with Rocky head coach Jason Petrino.
Yeah, oh, heads up.
Welcome to SWX Tonight, everyone. I'm Sean Rainey. The Billings Royals are your 2018 Class AA Legion Baseball Champions. Welcome to SWX Tonight, the first 30-minute show of its kind, dedicated to bringing you the best sports highlights and headlines from across the Treasure State. Let's now take a look at how that game went down. Here we go, the championship between the Lethbridge Elks and the Billings Royals, and right away, the Elks pick up where they left off earlier this afternoon. Kyle Bloor singles home Nathan Ryder, 1-0 Lethbridge. Later in the inning, Ty Penner hits one to the second baseman, but he overthrows first base, which allows Bloor to score 2-0 Elks. They would score 5 runs in the inning, but right away the Royals start fighting back. Sam Evanson singles through the infield. Jaden Kay scores, makes it 5-1 Lethbridge. Then later in the first, pass ball allows the big man, Evanson, to scamper home as the Royals just keep chipping away, makes it 5-2. Let's move to the 5th now, tie game, 5 apiece, and watch how far Jarrett Leinwald has to run to make this diving catch. What a play by the right fielder. The second baseman probably had a pretty easy shot at it, but hey, that one's a little bit more impressive. And then Leinwald, well, he's gonna be your hero. Walks it off in the bottom of extra innings. And like I said, for the first time since 2013, the Billings Royals are your Montana State Legion champions. They win 6-5, your final. Now we have to take a quick break, but we're just warming up here with SWX Tonight. If you're currently watching us on SWX, then stay tuned for a full half hour of Montana sports. Or if you're just caught the start of our show on ABC or NBC, be sure to switch over to SWX for the rest of the program. We're talking rodeo, Grizz soccer, color guard, all-stars, and more. Stay with us on SWX Tonight. Welcome back to SWX Tonight. The Royals are your 2018 Legion Baseball champions. Let's go back out to Kalispell now and get a recap from Ben Wyman, who's been in Kalispell since Saturday, covering the entire tournament for us. Ben, how's it going?
Yeah, good evening, Sean. It's been a long 5 days, but a fun 5 days. We've really kind of spent the gamut. We've had some close games. We've had some blowouts today. A huge congratulations to the Billings Royals. We called them the Cardiac Royals after the game was over because just the amount of close games, every single tournament win they had this run, this 5 days. They had 5 wins this 5-day run. Was all one game. And talking with the manager afterwards, he said, you know, my heart really can't take it. But first win for the Billings Royals since 2013, and they're talking about how they kind of own the city of Billings now. The Billings Scarlets, their rivals, have kind of been the state champion the last few years, and now the championship's going to go home to the Royals. And kind of cool, their season is not going to be over because right now they're going to be the Montana representative along with the Missoula Mavericks. They're going to be playing next week in Missoula at the Northwest Regional Tournament, taking on teams from Idaho and Oregon and Washington and Hawaii, Alaska, Wyoming. It's going to be a ton of fun, and we're going to be covering those games on SWX Montana on Wednesday. It's going to be a ton of fun. So again, an amazing time here in Kalispell. Sean, we had a ton of fun, and congrats to the Royals. That's going to do it for me here in a very dark Griffin Field. I'll send it back to you in the studio.
All right, thanks, Ben. Meanwhile, the State A tournament just got underway today in Miles City, and here are the day one results. If we can get them for you, there you go. The Western District off to a nice start to no surprise. Glacier scored an 8-3 win over Tri-County this morning, followed by a 10-0 win for the Bitterroot Red Sox against Lewistown. Then this evening it was Gallatin Valley besting Laurel 15-6, and the Belgrade Bandits moving forward with an 8-4 victory over the host team Mavericks. Well, from the Diamond to the Rodeo, let's now head over to Great Falls, where Haley Sutton spent the evening. Haley?
Thanks, Sean. That's right. For the next 4 nights, including this evening, you can catch performances over at Montana Expo Park. Tonight, it was Patriot Night at the Big Sky Pro Rodeo, paying tribute to fallen soldiers who have serviced our country. We'll get started with the bareback riding, one of the most difficult events at the rodeo, but Jesse Davis makes it look easy. He'll hold on to that bucking bronc for the highest score of the round at 80.5. And then moving on into steer wrestling, Molt, Montana's Hank Hollenbeck gets a little resistance but takes down the steer in 8 flat to move into the lead. But not so fast. Jake Malik out of Highwood, Montana has some other plans, gets out there and makes it look nice and easy with the textbook takedown in 7.6 seconds. And in Saddle Bronc, a tough group of cowboys competing, but it's the youngster Sage Newman on Hullabaloo getting it done. What an excellent ride. He earns an 84.5 to win. The Big Sky Rodeo will continue for the next 3 nights here in Great Falls, so there's plenty more of grandstand actions on the ledger this week. Time for another quick break, but still a lot to talk about this evening on SWX Tonight. When we return, it's time to get you the latest headlines from the Pioneer League baseball action. That's coming up next.
Welcome back to SWX Tonight. Still a new name. We're learning here. All right, we'll head back out to the ballpark now for Pioneer League action. Kempson Cross talked with the Helena Brewers this week as they begin the second half, hoping to secure a playoff spot. They told him that despite very different backgrounds and different languages as well, chemistry will certainly not be holding this group back.
The Helena Brewers are looking to put together a strong second half for their first Pioneer League playoff berth since being the league runner-up in 2013. Brewers catcher and Pioneer League All-Star David Fry says he's impressed with how the club rallies around each other.
A lot of times you come to professional baseball, a lot of people kind of think everybody's out for themselves, trying to move up. On this team, everybody's kind of working together. It can be tough with, how many Latin guys versus American guys, kind of the language barrier. But we have a lot of good guys. We try to teach each other the languages and stuff. We work well together, and I like that a lot.
Pitcher Scott Sunich credits the language literacy of several coaches and players.
I think part of the reason is our coaches are bilingual. That's huge. We have 3 coaches that can speak fluent Spanish and English, so it gets everyone involved. We got 6 interpreters right there. We got life in the clubhouse. We share music. We go half and half Spanish country. So that's nice. That gets everyone on the same page. Everybody's got their goal. We all want to win.
Brewers manager Nestor Corridor says the team is confident despite sitting 3rd place in the North Division at the midway cutoff.
Our first half was really good. We got a bad stretch at the end against Idaho Falls and Ogden. In my opinion, the best 2 teams in the league. We start the second half really well. We know what kind of team we are, and we know if we do the little things, we can win a lot of games.
The players say adversity only draws the squad closer.
You get to see how each person pulls for each other. If somebody has a terrible day, but then another guy walks it off, they're out there jumping around for them, so it's really cool. I just think we're really excited. Team's pushing for the playoffs, and we're ready to go.
Players and coaches tell me they're looking forward to playing hard for each other and for their home crowd during the home stretch of their final season here in the capital city. In Helena, Kempson Cross, SWX.
Thanks, Kempton. Well, the calendar turned to August, so the smoke started to roll into Missoula as the Osprey hosts those Helena Brewers. Second batter of the game, Bryce Tourig lines up the middle. Aaron Baldwin loses his glove trying to make the stop. It would be an illegal thing to do that. Runners would advance 1 spot if the ball hit his glove. Zach Shannon knows where the shortest part of the park is. 2-0 Osprey. And then things get a little wild in the second. Brian Connell hits a grounder to Eddie Hernandez. Throw goes into right, and it just keeps going and going and going and going. And Hernandez goes all the way to 3rd as the Brewers score. And the next batter, Jesus Lujano, ties the game at 2. And Helena, they go on to win this one 6-3, your final. Well, in Great Falls tonight, the Voyagers battled against Billings for the first of a quick 2-game set. And we had extra innings, the theme of baseball. Here tonight, Billings Mustangs get the 6-4 win over Great Falls. Well, the Pioneer League All-Star Game is now just 6 days away in Grand Junction. Today, we found out which Montana players will represent their teams as All-Stars. We'll go east to west on the map for you, starting in Billings, where the Mustangs have righties Jared Solomon and Eddie Demurius on the team. Solomon leads the league in strikeouts entering today. Also from Billings as an All-Star is catcher Pavel Manzanaro. Great Falls has 2 players on the list. Those would be southpaw Michael McCormick as well as outfielder Logan Sauer. Sauers ranks top 10 in the league for hits, total bases, and on-base percentage. The Helena Brewers have 4 ball players that will represent the capital city. Pitcher Wilfred Solomon, catcher David Fry, third baseman Chad McClanahan, and Luhim Castillo from the outfield. All 3 of those position players are batting over 300 so far this year. Finally, the Osprey. They also have 4 players that made the cut. Right-handed pitchers Justin Garcia and Marcus Tinio have combined to give up just 9 earned runs in 49 innings of work entering today. And the Birds also landed catcher Zach Almond and infielder Buddy Kennedy on the roster that was revealed today. But as baseball season marches on, we know that the start of August also means we're inching closer to kickoff on the gridiron. One of the first 2 teams to kick off the Frontier season will be Rocky. Chris Byers, the Rocky expert, has more from Billings.
Thanks, Sean. Well, yesterday, the Frontier Conference preseason football poll was released at the summer kickoff in Great Falls. Rocky Mountain College picked second behind Southern Oregon. Bears head coach Jason Petrino not overly excited about his team's highest preseason ranking since 1999. Coach says the poll pretty much falls in line with how the league finished last year. Now, what he is excited about is their season opener against Carroll College. It's the first game of the college football season in Montana, and it comes against the school Coach Petrino played for in Mike Van Diest. Always a little pressure being under the spotlight, fans across the state watching, but Coach Petrino embracing the early season contest with the Saints under the lights at the Rocky Bowl.
No, it's exciting. I'm excited, to get such a quality opponent here. Obviously, everybody in the area knows about Carroll College and what they've done to this conference and the strong ties that they have in the Billings area. And to be the first college football game, like I said, even in the state of Montana, the first football game. And that stuff right there kind of gets me excited. I'm really excited for our players to experience that. I'm really excited for Billings to be a part of that. And we look forward to, having a great crowd and a great atmosphere. And, college football, man, it's one of those things. It's exciting to get going. I'm getting excited just thinking about it. But as our players come in, I know the focus is to get better, but I guarantee you they're excited about that first one and getting a chance to play football right away.
Folks, college football returns 3 weeks from tomorrow. The Saints and the Bears at the Rocky Bowl on the campus of Rocky Mountain College. Well, just 2 months remain on the PRCA's regular season schedule. Top 15 head to Vegas in December. Montana Cowboys now making a strong late season run to reach the desert again. Here's a look at the Treasure State contingent and how they're faring heading into the final 8 weeks. Now, first we start in bareback. Cali, Wyoming's J.R. Vizane having a great season. Vizane, who competes on the Montana circuit, currently 14th in the world standings. Vizane is a 5-time NFR qualifier and finished 4th in the world last year. Meanwhile, after a slow start, Helena's Ty Erickson beginning to make a move in the world standings. Aronson checking in at number 9 this week. Last year, Erickson finished 2nd in the world in his 4th appearance at the NFR at a team roping. Billings' own Clay Tryon back to his winning ways. The 3-time world champ and 15-time qualifier in at number 10. How about women's barrel racing? Lisa Lockhart, Circle Montana. Great season. She's been to the NFR 11 times. It's going to be a dozen this year. Lisa, number 2 in the world in the barrels. And finally, Edgar's Parker Bredding appears headed back to Vegas in bull riding. Bredding, number 2 in this week's world standings. We'll keep a check on those as the season winds down. We'll be right back on SWX Tonight with a lot more sports coverage for your Wednesday night. When we come back, we check in with the Grizz soccer team and their brand new coach as Montana gears up for a new year on the pitch. That story next on SWX Tonight.
Welcome back to SWX Tonight as we prepare for the fall sports season. Of course, it's not just football that's starting up. We have volleyball, cross country, soccer. Today, it was all about Grizz soccer and the first practice for new head coach Chris Chidovitsky. How would you describe yourself as a coach?
A little crazy, fun, energetic, a mad scientist in a way. Maybe that's probably the best way to do it. I love the game. I've been studying it for my whole life, and I'll do anything that I have to do to find a way to teach it to you.
Out at South Campus Stadium, the mad scientist gets his first look at his team. He's somewhat familiar with the roster as he scouted them when he was an assistant at North Dakota last year, but today is a little different. Chidovitsky inherits a pretty talented team as Montana returns 8 starters from a team that went 10-7-4 last year and finished 2nd in the Big Sky Conference. First day out on the pitch is always one that the players look forward to, especially this year as they get accustomed to that new coach.
He brings a lot of energy. He brings a lot of new ideas, fresh ideas, something our team has never seen before, and it makes me excited.
Exciting. Every year, I think it's like Christmas to most of us. It's like we can't sleep the night before, and so, everybody's waking up thinking about fitness testing, but I think you kind of get over that just being like, oh yay, we get to be back with the team. So exciting, definitely.
The Grizzly soccer team opens their season August 17th at home against Fresno State. Well, Bozeman football fans get to see more than just a game when the Hawks play at Van Winkle Stadium. The flash of color during the halftime show is due to the color guard team, but this year the show may look just a little less vibrant. Our Annika Cook found out why.
Thanks, guys. I'm here at Bozeman High School with the only competitive color guard team in the state. And despite their recent success in competitions and dominance across the Northwest, their team is still getting smaller.
Well, we had 7 just a minute ago, and we have kids that have had some serious family life crises. So we lost a few.
The team is only 3 members strong as of today. Here's a snippet of Bozeman High's 2014 show called Pyramids of Egypt. The purpose of the guard is to interpret the music of the band through synchronized work of flags and dance. This year's team knows they already have their work cut out for them.
We're kind of limited option-wise with the small guard, but I think we can really nail down the pieces that we could do.
If we're being together, then that's like a plus. If we're have way less impact than other teams, then it might hurt us.
It is a bit of a letdown, but you know what, if we can pull it off right and if we can do the work, then you know it'll be really cool in the end.
Though they are undoubtedly small, each member also emphasized how much the guard means to them.
We just build on friendship right off the bat, because having a place to come and know that you have your tribe, your people, when you're in high school is really important.
Be able to just have another place to go, like a big family, you know, and we just mess around and have a bunch of fun.
There's still one last chance next week for anybody at Bozeman High to join the team.
It's definitely hard, but it's kind of hard where you learn it quickly and then you can get really good at it. It's a very supportive place to be.
If you're scared of joining just because you don't think you're talented, well, you know what? That's why we're here.
This year's show is Heroes vs. Villains, and for questions and more info on joining, call the front desk at the high school. In Bozeman, I'm Annika Cook.
All right, thanks, Annika. College football coach is in some deep water. We'll have that story and more coming up on SWX Tonight. College football season is just 1 month away. We're all excited except for maybe one team, as a national title contender could be without its head coach come kickoff. Ohio State University placed head coach Urban Meyer on administrative leave Wednesday. The university is investigating whether Meyer knew about the domestic violence allegations against former assistant Zach Smith. A statement from Ohio State says Ryan Day will step in as head coach until the investigation is completed. Meyer says training camp will continue, and he hopes being away from the field will help keep distractions down for players. Ohio State opens the season September 1st against Oregon State. Well, in Major League action today, it was the Mariners, Seattle, going up against the world champion Houston Astros. Second inning, Astros take the lead here. Marwin Gonzalez, utility defender, with the shot. And then still in the second, Jake Marisnik, he goes yard. That makes it 3-0. And then let's go to the fourth inning. Seattle has cut the lead to 1, but Marwin Gonzalez goes deep yet again. The one-time Azula Mosquito getting it done. Houston would go on to hang a 4 spot in the 5th inning to take a big 6-run lead in the ballgame, thanks in large part to a 3-run shot off the bat of Max Stassi. Houston wins it 8-3 today, upping their division lead over the Mariners and Athletics to 5 games. Thanks for joining us tonight on SWX. Have a good one, everybody.